Reality recap.
And hi, Evelyn. Yes, I know you have the reunion. Yes, we have 2 more episodes. And then we have the reunion of
I look like a slut. I look like a mom. She was like, you the one that look like you got a high body count hair. I fell the fuck out, y'all.
Candace, has Deborah reached out to you to apologize after the episode aired showing Chris did not flirt with her?
She wouldn't dare. She would get eaten for breakfast.
Oh boy.
No, she's doubling down.
Why would you go meet with Ray J without talking to Princess or letting her know? Why? Like, she's trying to justify that she told her after the fact and not supposed to make it.
What do you think of your ex-husband Jim coming out and saying you did not try to stop him from suing Shannon and Tamara?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, if his memory is a little foggy about what transpired back then, that's okay. However, he did admit that I had nothing to do with the
Reality recap. Reality recap.
Happy Monday. What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap, here for another live Tea Talk session. We are talking about this past Friday's episode of Life After Lockup. I always give you guys the streaming information in case you don't have WeTV. This is Life After Lockup, episode 18. The title of the episode is Karma's Coming, and the air date again was September 19th. What's up, y'all? We're going to get into it. We are streaming live right now across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The chats are live for you to give your thoughts on the episode as I give you my unsolicited thoughts. I'll be reading your questions, your comments as I go through the recap. And let me just give y'all the lineup. Let's take care of some business real quick. This week I'm back on. I have not been recapping a lot of these shows. I've really just been keeping up with Life After Lockup because things have been so busy. I told you guys, bear with me. I'm trying to just incorporate all the different platforms and also like the brand deals that are coming through, which I'm so grateful for. And thank you. Welcome new followers. We hit 100K last week on Facebook. So welcome, guys. But yes, I'm trying to incorporate everything. But this week we are back on and I am committed. We are recapping Life After Lockup tonight. Tomorrow I'll be recapping the season premiere because Lily, how you doing? On YouTube, we need to talk about the season premiere of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I will be recapping that tomorrow before the new episode drops. And Wednesday, we will pick back up with not Life After Lockup, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And then, Thursday, we'll be back recapping the new episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and getting into it. Special announcement this coming Saturday, I will be recapping Life After Lockup with another up and coming pop culture page. Jay and Mika are their names. There are a couple that are up and coming and recapping shows, music. So I will be joining teams with them because they do cover Life After Lockup. So make sure you're following them and we will get into that episode. Their names is Jay and Mika. You can find them on Instagram, on YouTube. It's Jey and Mika Meka. So I will be joining forces with them and recapping the newest episode of Life After Lockup on this coming Saturday. All right. And lastly, follow me, guys. Like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit those likes, hit those hearts. I appreciate you. YouTube channel is coming across the screen, Reality Recap 2876. Or you can find the channel and the links in my bios on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok. And follow me for all the latest reality news, reality_recap on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I appreciate you guys all. So yes, hit those likes, hit those hearts. I appreciate you. And we're going to get into it. So of course, we're going to talk about each couple that we saw in the episode, starting with our favorite. We're going to start out with Kiana, Demondrick, and Joella, our throuple of the season. Joella's been getting active, y'all. So Joella has become monetized on Facebook. So she has been very active. So I did post for you guys showing that she now has a new boo. And she posted a screenshot of their FaceTime. Which I was a little confused by because earlier in that day, before she posted that, she was in the comments on her page talking to one of her followers saying how, she's still sleeping with Demondrick. When I posted about the new boo and I put up I put in my caption, like, she's saying this is her new boo, but also was saying that she was sleeping with Demondrick still. She came in my comments saying that we just nosy, and she put that up because she know that we would follow. And I was telling her, like, girl, I saw it on somebody else's page. I didn't post about it just because I was hoping after she came on here and talked to us, right, in one of our recent lives, she talked to us about her, owning what she had done. She felt entitled to Demondrick because they had children together, and she allowed him back into her bed and life when he came home, but that she was just, I guess, young in love. Not that young, right? 29, we'll take it, but I'm 40, so it's young to me. But she kind of was taking accountability for it and saying she would move on. So she was saying she just said that for clicks and likes because she's monetized and trying to get her coin, honey, and that she is dating this new boo. That's what she had to say. So yeah. But she has been very active. I put a lot of the posts in my story yesterday where she has just been really going off on everybody. She now says she is no longer the Yvette and of the baby boy situation. She says she Peanut now. I'll call you. So yeah, that's what she's comparing herself to. Can't make this shit up. So let's get into the episode. We start off with Joella has, Demondrick let Joella in Kiana's house. I was like, what is wrong with this man? This woman has pressed charges against your girl. I know that's your baby mama and she got to drop the kids off. Y'all need to meet at a mutual space. I know he ain't got no car, so maybe let her just bring the kids to the front door. She got anything to say, y'all need to say it on the porch or on the curb, honey. But he let Joella in the house. Joella showed the episode before, she showed this surveillance video from her security camera, which I did not see that security camera on the house when the investigator came. I digress. But she showed a video of Demondrick leaving the house and coming back in the middle of the night. She's saying that they, hunched on each other that night, that her car was vandalized, right? Okay. She shows this video that shows nothing more but Demondrick walking back and forth. I don't know. There's no more video of what actually happened to your car, but you have a video of him walking back and forth. He's saying that, it ain't nothing but accusations because he could not get that word out, child. I told y'all cannot convince me he really went to college. I'm not convinced. But, his accusations of what was on that video, all the video shows is him leaving and going. He ain't have nothing to do with the car being vandalized. Now, I told y'all, I don't believe Kiana did it. I don't believe that Joella vandalized her own car. Just like, why would she do that and pay out of pocket this money? I wholeheartedly believe there's another woman. Y'all do know Demondrick has 2 to 3 other baby mamas. He has a total of 5 kids. And, the oldest kid with Joella is not his. But he has a total of 5 kids. He has like 2 other baby mamas. So why can't it be one of them? I don't know. But also, do I think he's just messing with these 2? Absolutely not. I don't. But you know what they say, or at least what I say, cheating is a rich man's sport. It's not a broke man's sport. Because how is he keeping up with all, well, let me not get off track, y'all. Let me not get off track. Because I guess they don't do the same for everybody. They spend money on one and maybe not on the other. And y'all, you're just in it for love. Who knows? But listen. But I don't believe that it was either one of them. I feel like there's a plot twist that there is another woman out there. But anyway, guys, also spoiler alert, mute if you have to, spoiler alert. The case has been dropped. The charges have been dismissed, which I was questioning on our last recap as well, is how do you press charges and have a warrant out for someone's arrest with no proof? Like, how can you just walk in a police station and say, my car was vandalized and I think this person did it, and there's a warrant out for their arrest? Like, the charges are real. They really are online. The case was dismissed. But the way the story is being told on this show is just not making sense to me. Like, how do you do that with no proof? to me, it seems like it was probably dismissed right away. I don't really think that there was a warrant out for Kiana's arrest, or they wanted her to go turn herself in and, turn in and release. I don't believe none of that. I feel like that's just embellished storyline for this show, but it was dismissed. So it really doesn't make any sense to me. But getting back to the episode, he had her in the backyard. She's showing the video. He's saying that proves nothing. She got upset because I guess she was expecting a confession out of him. Right, you're right. She got upset saying, like, oh, you acting like you don't know what happened. She acting like she don't know what happened. She gets upset and she leaves. So she misses Kiana coming home, which I was like, damn, they really made it seem like she was gonna catch Joella, like Kiana was gonna catch Joella in the house, but she actually didn't. They missed each other and Joella left. Now, when Joella left, she was stopped by the police, right? And she was nervous. Now, a lot of you were saying in my comments, like, oh, she had past charges. And some of you even said it sounds like she had some criminal mischief charges before. That was not the case, guys. So I'll give you the charges. Joella was arrested in April of 2023. Her charges were tampering or fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair. So basically, she got pulled over. She tried to throw away the legal evidence or, that she had. She also was charged with possession of an illegal substance. She was charged with possession of marijuana. She also was charged with no seatbelt and no driver's license. So that's what she was arrested for. I know, like, I don't know how everybody was saying, oh, she has a past. She has a past criminal record. She must have vandalized her own car. It ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China, guys. So that was her. She basically got pulled over. She was probably, smoking in the car. She had a little 2020 twin. She tried to throw it out the window. They saw it. She was arrested for that, as well as no seatbelt and no driver's license. So 1 + 1 don't equal 2 there. We can't say because of those charges that she vandalized her own car. I just don't get why she would vandalize her own car and spend $600 for tires. She said her school stuff was also damaged that she needs for her cosmetology school and things like that. I just don't know if she would do that. Lily said, tell her stop replying to the comments. When I tell you she replied, like, I just be letting her go at it because, hello, I'm monetized on Facebook too. So if you want to comment and get my engagement up, like the comment section had over 200 comments. And she was literally, if you said something bad about her, she was responding. I was just sitting there with my popcorn like, girl, you ain't the only one monetized. Get that engagement up, sis. I'm good with it. Hey, Toria, thank you for checking in. Well, let me know what other charges you saw for her, if she had any like criminal mischief charges. But those were the charges that Mary brought to the light with Kiki and Kid Biz. She said she got charges for fraud, and all they pulled up another mugshot you didn't show us. Okay. That still don't mean that she vandalized her car. Fraud, possession of marijuana, no seatbelt, driver's license. I don't correlate that with vandalism of her own car. I just don't. But I told you, I think it's another woman that we just don't know about, or another one of his baby mamas to me. That's what I think. But yeah, Kiana and Joella miss each other. She gets pulled over. The cops are talking to her. They give her a citation and they let her go. Kiana's lawyer sends a PI. Have y'all ever heard of that? A lawyer sending a private investigator. That's what I said. This story seems so embellished to me. Again, I don't understand how you have a warrant out for your arrest with no proof, or maybe we're just not being shown the proof, which doesn't make sense. But how you have a warrant out with no proof that you did this is weird to me. It's really weird. I told you guys that the charges were dismissed. The case is dismissed. I feel like the case was dismissed probably like right away when there was no evidence, but this show is embellishing it and dragging it out the entire season. But it's been dismissed. So this PI shows up asking Joella questions like if she plans on still being with Demondrick, why does she feel Kiana has done this? He also asks about her past charges. I was surprised that Joella even spoke with this man because I would have not. You want to know anything? Talk to my lawyer. I don't even know if Joella got a lawyer, but talk to my public defender or something, because what? I would not have sat down and talked to that man. I would have kindly slammed the door in his face. Like, I've never seen that before, where a lawyer is going to send out a private investigator and ask you to take a lie detector test. Huh? That made absolutely no sense to me, y'all. Like, I've never heard of that. Y'all tell me if you have, but I've never heard of that before. Tori said, ask Joella why she didn't invite the other kids to the party. I wonder how the other baby mothers feel looking at both of these thirsty women. Yeah, I would like to locate the other baby mothers. You're more than welcome to ask her that question in my comments. She's very active in my comments. But I was wondering too, like I had that in my notes with the party. I think I talked about it on the podcast. I was asking, like, was anybody else invited? Because she was so quick to like leave with the kids and not engage with the party. And I didn't see nobody there except for, her kids. She wanted Kiana's kids there. And I do remember Demondrick saying, like, well, all he asked for at the party was, Kiana's kids to be there, Kiana's children to be there. So I wasn't too sure if it was a big thing or if he just was having a small gathering at the little arcade place. Wasn't sure, but definitely you are more than welcome to ask her because she be getting real active. A private lawyer will send a PI. I even had the lawyer ask me, do I want them to send a PI for the people who hit me? I was shocked to know they do that. I know of lawyers sending PIs like in an accident or something like that to investigate and try to see if it's true, but to send them and ask the person you're facing or going to be facing in court to take a lie detector test, I've never seen that before. So, I mean, it's possible. I just would not have spoken to him at all. I would not have answered the door. If I did, I would have heard what he had to say and say, nah, I don't got nothing to say to you. Speak to my lawyer. And I'd have slammed the fucking door. Like, don't we come on, we got to know the rules of the game here. You don't have to say nothing. I wouldn't have spoke to him at all. Not at all. Hey, Lena B, thank you for checking in. You don't think the other baby mamas have issues with Joella? You know what? I don't recall if I asked her that or if she spoke about that when she came on my live. If she talked about, no, I think that was Keisha. I mean, not Keisha, Letitia, when I talked to her about her child's biological dad, she said that she got along with his other baby mothers and they keep the family close. But Joella didn't speak about them really at all. She seemed to want to keep the conversation only on her and her children and not talk on them. But okay, she's here. Joella's here. So no, we didn't talk about that. But can you speak on that, Joella? Girl, don't make me send you this link so you could come back up here again. But are you cool with Demondrick's other baby mothers? I'm just trying to, I think we did talk about why did we expect it to be Kiana that damaged your car and not one of them or another woman? But are you cool with the other baby mothers? Let me know. Don't make me send you this link. Thank you for checking in. And Latoria, I don't know if you answering. Okay. She says she is cool with them. And that makes sense because I would think if you weren't cool with them and they were on this show, I mean, you were on this show, they would have been very vocal on social medias because that's how everybody come out the woodwork when you get on TV. So I would expect that. So it makes sense. And I don't know if you answering Toria's questions today. I don't know if y'all cool today or not, but she's also asking, I would first ask, did you invite the other children to the birthday party that you left from? Or were they not there or invited? I don't want to just assume you didn't invite them. Joy said, I can't because I got a call today and was told I was messy and hating on the show. The producer said that to you? Who said that? Oh, so you can't come up here today? All right, you just gonna stay in the comments. Cool. Oh, and thank you. Live Through Me said that lie detector results are not admissible in court. Joella, I was just talking about, I don't know if you heard, but I was very surprised you even gave that man the time of day coming to your house because I would have slammed the door in his damn face. Like, talk to my lawyer for the nerve to come to your house and ask you to take a lie detector test. Lie detector test is cray. And yes, the other kids were invited. Well, that settles that. Thank you so much. So they are not admissible in court. So what he doing over there asking for? What they gonna do with it if it's not admissible in court? Another reason why I would have been like, that door would have been slammed right in his face. Lena said, if Kiana didn't have anything to do with the car, why was Demondrick trying to pay her to drop the case? So either Kiana or Demondrick himself. I felt like he was trying to pay for it to just make it go away, because if she is found guilty of these charges or had been found guilty of the charges, he can't live with her anymore because ain't he on parole? So if she's now a criminal, he can't live with her no more. So he ain't trying to mess up and have to go back to his daddy house. So I felt like that's why he was trying to pay for it. Or I feel like Demondrick knows something. Whether Kiana did it or not, I don't know. But the way he was walking back and forth in that video, he knows something. It was almost as if, and this again is alleged and only my thoughts and theories, but it seemed like when he left Joella's house in the video and came back, it was almost like somebody was out there and knew that he was in there, and he like ran back to go in the house and was checking and looking. He knows something. Again, all alleged, my thoughts, but I feel like he knows who did it, whether it's Kiana or not. He knows something. I don't know. But great questions, Lena B. Thank you for checking in. The lie detector stuff reminds you of OC. It reminded me of Maury. That's what it reminded me of. To help the lawyer to come up with a great defense. That's all. They didn't do it, but they know who did. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I definitely think Demondrick knows something. Joella, you still feel like Kiana did it? You let me know. Are you still sticking to that? But yeah, Joella ended up telling, because not only did this PI question Joella, ask her to take a lie detector test, he then asked would she sign this paper basically waiving, I guess her rights to a trial. But he asked her to sign, like, was it an affidavit or something? But he asked her to sign this piece of paper saying that she was willing to drop the charges. Joella wasn't willing to sign the paper. She was saying that benefits Kiana, not me. And, in support of what I went through in this situation. But she pretty much gave an ultimatum. If you want me to sign this paper, I want to have a sit down with Kiana. I want to have a talk with her. Now, Joella, I think you stretching it, asking for an apology, because an apology would be like she's admitting that she did something. I don't know if you're going to get this apology. Hell, I don't even know if y'all really going to sit down with each other. We'll see in the upcoming episodes. But if I felt like the sit down should really be for y'all to get an understanding, for you to show her the text messages and the video surveillance that you showed us, that, I would sit down and have a clear understanding here. Y'all two are not the enemies. He is the one playing. That's how I feel. It is, y'all really should just come and sit together and exchange meeting of the minds. Here's what be said. This is what he be talking about. Like, he's just feeding both of y'all bullshit. So I would sit down with each other in a peaceful manner and exchange notes and figure out what y'all gonna do from there. And Joella still feels like Kiana did it. Exactly, lived through me. Hello, Shirley. This is Barbara. I don't think you're Delulu, and I don't think you did it yourself. I don't know who did it, but I don't think you did it. It makes absolutely no sense for you as a single mom of 3 children, going to school to mess up your own school supplies and stuff for your cosmetology, to mess up your car, your way of life, to get back and forth to work, to school, your kids to school. It makes absolutely no sense for you to do that. I don't believe that at all. I just don't know if Kiana did it. I think it's someone else that we just, ain't talking about or know about. And I think Demondrick knows something about it. Hey, Portia Brown. Thank you for checking in. Right. It's the baby daddy that is messy. It's always the man in the middle, lying to the both of y'all. Want you to believe that foolishness. And yes, we loved your grandma on the show, Joelle. And I think she was kicking real facts, real knowledge. Grandmas always do. Joella said, I asked to sit down to have a grown woman talk because I don't have a problem with her. But as long as she keep running from the actual problem, I've just been through it. And I actually felt bad that she had beef and I didn't want that man back. And also for the kids' sake. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. If y'all actually do sit down and have a conversation in the upcoming episodes, I wanted to see y'all really just, be cordial with each other. I hope, it ain't no flipping tables and foolishness like that. I really want y'all, because y'all shouldn't be enemies. He's public enemy number 1. That is my thoughts. So, and I'm, and Joella, you really didn't say yes or no to the lie detector test. I mean, you asked for the sit down. So I was wondering too, like, are you willing to do the lie detector test as well as sign the paper when you guys have this sit down, or what? So I don't know what you can tell us about that. No spoilers. Don't have WeTV looking for me, girl. Don't spoil it. But, I do have a question for you, Joella, and then we're going to move on to the next couple. Do you know when is the season finale? How many episodes is it left? Do you know, Joella? Just because they're not putting on the episode guide, they only add 1 episode every week. So I don't know how many more episodes are left. I see that you have one coming this Friday, episode 19, which says, what's the name of this episode? DNA all the way. Oh Lord. It says, okay, I'll read the caption to y'all for the episode, but it says episode 19, Life After Lockup. The title is DNA All the Way. That will air this Friday the 26th. It says JK reveals his ex is pregnant. Joella's proposition shocks Kiana. Brooke explodes when JK goes rogue. Will confronts Courtney about cheating allegations. Troy meets up with Yana. Justine has a heart-to-heart with her mom. So Kiana's going to be shocked by that. But yeah, let me know. How many more episodes is it? I was wondering if that's the last one. Okay, Joella says she thinks that this might be the last episode. I was wondering just because they normally, the fact that it was there already when typically it's only up there when it airs. So, okay, we getting close to the end. Well, thank you, Joella, for answering these questions. I hope to see you guys back again. I hope to see y'all in another season. I appreciate you in the comments. Stop going so hard on my followers, though, okay? Stop going so hard, okay? Because you was going off this weekend in the comments, sis. Okay, you was going a bit hard in the comments. Now, while I appreciate the engagement, because yes, your girl is monetized on Facebook as well. So, thank you for the engagement. But I said, listen, Joella, you gotta stop calling people names. But yes. So y'all get y'all questions out to Joella. They is talking up a storm over here. I appreciate it. We're gonna move on to the next couple. And I would love to have you, Joella, for an official interview once the season has wrapped and you can talk a little bit more freely. So if this is the last episode, I would love to have you on. Guys, remember this Saturday, I will be recapping this Friday's episode with a new upcoming page. Their names is Jay and Mika. A couple, a black couple, black love. I will be recapping with them. We're going to team up together. Yeah, you be trying to be nice, but it don't be working, girl. And congratulations on the new boo. I did and I don't know if you saw my comment. I saw on another page, I think Amber, according to Amber, posted that you were in the comments saying that you were still sleeping with Demondrick. And I didn't post about that. I did see it. That's why I mentioned it in my caption. I didn't post about it because I honestly didn't believe it. I was thinking you was just trolling. But also because you had already came on here and took accountability for that stuff. So I didn't post about that, but I did mention it saying, okay, she said she got a new boo, but then also was in the comments saying she's still sleeping with Demondrick. That ain't making sense. But yeah, congratulations on the new boo. You say he treats you well. That's all we can ask for. Yeah, I figured that because you had already came up here that you posted it to troll. So just a little jokey joke, but I'm glad to see you have moved on and found someone new. Good luck to you guys. All right. Let's move on over to JK and Brooke, y'all, because I got to get y'all not gonna keep me up here all night. It's Monday Night Football at 8:15. So we gonna wrap this up. JK and Brooke, we saw JK. He goes to Alex's house because in the episode, Alex is his ex-girlfriend, by the way, that he continues to keep creeping past her haunted house. But he goes to see Alex because in the episode prior, his father told him that Alex is pregnant because apparently JK's father and Alex have a very close relationship. I feel like JK father want Alex. I told y'all that. But he stopped past Alex's house and she lets him know that yes, she is pregnant. He's telling us in the confessional that he slept with Alex months ago. I guess he equates months ago to 8 weeks ago because that's what came up on the screen when he had, went to her house, that it was 8 weeks prior. So the math was mathing because y'all saw JK. He was out there on his fingers. He was counting. Okay, you 7 weeks along or something. She said she was along. Yeah, she was 7 weeks pregnant. So he started counting. Subtract the 5, carry the 1, and putting the math together. And the math was kind of mathing, if you ask me. But he also telling us in the confessional he cheated on Brooke because he wasn't happy. How the fuck was you not happy and you had just got home? What did Brooke do in 2 days that you were not happy with? You were just sleeping with her in the bed with the potty next to it. So what are you talking about? How are you not happy so quickly? Cool. That's what you gonna roll with. That's what we rolling with. But he said that he cheated because he was unhappy. He pulled up on Alex. She's pregnant. But Brooke is calling him. Brooke can't get through. He's sending her the voicemail. She starts speeding in her her Nissan Rogue. She trying to find him. Y'all know Brooke lived like an hour and some change, almost 2 hours away from JK. So she's speeding, trying to find out where he is. Yes, in the hospital bed. Yeah, JK and Brooke was sleeping together and hunching in the hospital bed in his mama's roommate's room. You seem pretty happy to me. But now he wasn't happy, and that's why he cheated. Okay. So yeah, sis pulled out the sonogram. JK doing the math. She said she was 7 weeks pregnant, and we had just seen the 8 weeks ago they slept together. Still ain't making sense to me. I mean, he had to sleep with her before that. I mean, did the sperm meet the egg? And that on that day that we saw, I don't know. How does it work? I don't know. Don't give me the lying. How does it work? Don't you get pregnant and then 30 days later show up? I don't know. Or, around the time of the next mixed period, I don't know. Y'all tell me when the sperm meet the egg, child. Because I can't tell y'all when I got pregnant. I really can't. I can't. But Alex was at least honest in telling him that it was a 50-50 chance that it was his baby, because she says, yeah, they had to be sleeping together before that 8 week that popped up, just because she's also alleging that she had a miscarriage, which was JK's baby. So I'm thinking, how long has JK really been home? Because it's all confusing to me, because he been home that long to get Alex pregnant, her have a miscarriage, heal from that, get pregnant again, and be 7 weeks alone? I didn't look to see how long it said he was out. Y'all know how, like, when it first pop up, it'll say, okay, like, been out for this amount of time. I didn't see that, but let me go back and see if I can see that real quick, because, is it making sense to y'all? Because it ain't to me, child. He been out that long? And no, Toria, Brooke does not realize she didn't win the fight. She said that we are delusional. She did not lose that fight because she feels like she's the one that got the hit that connected. You snuck the girl and hit her in the face, and then she grabbed onto you and pulled you down the hill. But she seems to think that all Alex did was pull her hair. She didn't connect no hits, and she feel like she won that. She said we delusional. You said, could the baby be his brother? Do you mean his father? Could it be his father? Because that's who I think it is. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how long he's been out at the time of this, but it was just a lot. I literally wrote that, like, how long has he been out for all of this? But listen, she was honest that it's a 50-50 chance it could be his. I said, damn, Alex, this is the reason why he left you in the first place, because you can't stop sleeping with other people. But I guess she felt justified because he's still with Brooke. But they had their whole conversation, and she's asking him, like, yo, I'm not gonna let you keep coming over here. I keep letting you back in. I'm not doing that anymore. Life is what you make it. He talking about life is complicated. No way JK has been out for 2 years. Harry Hooven on Instagram. 2 years? That don't sound right. But it could have been some time. I mean, he had the ankle monitor on, and he got that off and all of that stuff. So, he got a truck and all that and humping in between. But yeah. So I had put up the little meme joke, but Alex was basically like Cookie lying. She was saying, I got to put me first, Lucius. I got to put me first. I went through the miscarriage alone. I'm probably going to go through this alone, and it's okay. I'm going to handle it. I'm going to, put my big girl panties on and do what I got to do. And she told him to please leave. Now, Brooke is circling around looking for him, calling him, and she going to pull up on him, it seems like, in too long. She going to pull up on him in the next episode, okay? Also, JK has to wait for a DNA test because Alex said that it was too high risk and that the midwife was like, you going to a midwife, sis? Not the doctor? Okay. But she said the midwife wouldn't recommend the DNA test to be done while she's pregnant. That didn't make sense to me either. Now, unless you're older and you are already a high risk pregnancy, they don't normally say that that's high risk. So I was a little confused by that as well. But I don't know, maybe because she had the miscarriage that'll make her high risk. But I didn't even know the midwife can make those type of decisions. Because I do know, like, in order to do the DNA, some people were saying that she could do a blood test too, though. You know, forgive me, y'all. I had my babies with my husband, so I didn't have to do DNA tests. So forgive me, but it didn't sound right. But some of you were saying, yeah, you could do a blood test DNA. I've only known about there being like a DNA where they like take something from the sac to do the DNA test. So I think that's what they were saying was too high risk because it could lead to like early labor. Latoria, the doctor and the lawyer, said that there's a minor risk for that blood to be drawn for DNA and non-invasive, but other than that, she could have gotten it. Yeah, that wasn't making sense. So he got to wait the whole 9 months to see if he this baby daddy. It reading the caption of the next episode, it seems like he's gonna come clean. I don't know who he's going to come clean to because it says that Brooke goes, she gets upset that JK goes rogue. So I don't know if he's gonna tell his mom about it or what, but it seems like he's gonna mention to someone that this girl is pregnant. So story still developing. Who else did we see on this episode? Lord have mercy. Daniel and Bianca. I'm so glad they done. I literally I wrote in my notes, why she's still sitting at that table and that table is not flipped, y'all. But we continue off on their dinner where where he's basically clowning her and telling her how he only had her move across the country because he thought it would be easier than going to the halfway house and living with her. And then he winking like this. That wink was getting it had me cackling because he meant that. He meant every word of that he said. That's exactly why he love bombed her and told her he was going to marry her so she could come over there with her money from her settlement and make sure he had a place to stay so he could get a job, got a car, got his license, all of that. That's what she was there for. It was all jail talk. And we tried to warn her, tried to tell her, but everybody learns on their own time. But I just didn't understand why she was still sitting at that table and it wasn't flipped because he was literally playing her like, you are not it, sweetie. You're a wet blanket. I'm tired of dealing with you. Like his true colors were really starting to come out. And it was mainly because he got a taste of that devil's juice. He started drinking again. And he wanted to go back to that lifestyle. He'd been drinking, taking shots. He said he was smoking weed. He wanted to go back to that lifestyle. And he was pushing her away with all of that. Where are my notes for Bianca and Daniel? Yeah, I didn't believe him when he said he was kidding about that. He was dead serious. It's like Kanye say, I'm joking, I'm just serious. That's exactly what he was doing. They get to arguing about the apartment because he wants Bianca to move out of the apartment that he basically would not have if it wasn't for Bianca. He would not have gotten that apartment on his own. He has a criminal arrest record. He's lucky he was even allowed to stay there or put his name on the lease. And he has plans of he wants her to get out and move. She's saying, well, I know I can still stay in Arizona. I'm saying, why would you want to stay in Arizona? You don't know nobody out there. Your family is all the way back in Florida. But the fact that he wanted to kick her out as if he could just take over the rent. I mean, he did mention prior that his plan was just to move somebody else in there, some other bitch in there, to have her pay the rent probably. But it was like, how do you think you have the right to stay in this apartment just because you can't get another one with your credit or your arrest record? If I was Bianca, like, you have money, get you a lawyer if you needed to. I would have got my name up off that lease so quick and left him there with it and to deal with it, which I don't know if she got her name off the lease, but she did end up, after finding out that he was cheating. When this happened real time, she did expose his cheating online. She posted screenshots of the messages with other women. She posted, his explicit pictures. They were blurred. That he was pretty much trying to, he had a few little prosties. He was trying to pay women to sleep with him. He was, swindling women. She said she found over 100 girls that he was talking to, and she had posted that real time and broke up with him. So she did end up, after finding all of that, she calls him and he telling her like, so what, eat shit, I don't care. Yes, right, I was talking to other women, and what, like, so she decided to finally go back home after all of that. Well, yeah. Bianca saying it doesn't matter now because he went back to his old residence. Yeah, I don't know if she got her name off the lease, but she did end up moving back home to Florida and said she had him blocked and no conversation with him. They asked her, if she had anything she wanted to say to Daniel. She said, you are a repeat addict. You'll probably end up back in jail. And that's exactly what happened. Now, he was only sent back to jail for 90 days for he failed a drug test for alcohol in his system. He got drunk. He had to go back to jail for a 90-day program. But within that 90-day program, yeah, he lost the apartment, probably was going to lose his license, lost his job. So he back to square one. And she's moved on. Bianca is now pregnant. She has a new man and is pregnant. That relationship moved quick too. So I don't know. Sis needed to heal from her past miscarriage and the accident that she was in my opinion, first before she sought out any more relationships. But yeah, she's pregnant, has moved on with a new man. Happened very quickly though. I don't want to be judgmental, but I am. But yeah, it was about time. It was about time she moved home. I don't even know why she was planning to still try to stay out there in Arizona. You would not have been in Arizona at all. Probably never even visited as a tourist if it wasn't for this guy. So I would immediately, hell, I wouldn't have moved across country for him in the first place, to be honest. But finally, she saw the light and left. And we'll see. He is out of prison. I did tell y'all, like, he was on social media when he got locked up, when he had to do the 90 days. He was doing like MTV Cribs. He was able to keep his phone while he was in there. I don't know if he was supposed to have it or not, but he had a phone. And he was doing like MTV Cribs. He would be on the phone like, yeah, this is where I take my smoke breaks. This is my cell. He gave us a tour of his cell, and it was like, bruh, you were too proud of this. Yeah, Lena Bean. I think she's looking for love. She's looking for it in the wrong places. I mean, she connected with Daniel. She specifically went on a website looking for a criminal that had a DUI arrest because, that horrific accident that she was in with that, you can still see the scar on her neck with her friend being a drunk driver, and they ran into a concrete wall at an airport. And she also had a past relationship that didn't go well, and she had a miscarriage, and she was just looking for someone to marry her and have a baby, have a baby, have a baby. Yeah, they was sweating every time they was on the scene. Lena B, they was up there sweating And he outside arguing with her, his back and chest and shirt soaking wet because he getting upset and mad. I'm so glad she went back home. I really am. I low key think her best friend like her, but that's just me. Or she could just care about her. I don't know, but it was giving that vibe. Yeah, Bianca definitely has trauma that she should deal with, but gonna have to put that to the side because homegirl is very pregnant. So yeah. Who else did we see on this? Okay, we're about 50 minutes in. Let's wrap these up real quick. We saw Troy and Zaria on this episode. Troy is having a memorial in Buffalo for his father. Zaria heads out there with her bodyguard friend who's just there to fight if need be. The girl was very tall and huge, and she's like, yeah, they in the car like she doing all of this. She's there as her bodyguard because she's going into the situation with his family and not knowing if his baby mother was going to be there. Troy gets to spend time with his daughter, which I was so happy for him. Troy is really kind-hearted. You know, he's someone that got locked up and lost a lot while he was locked up. He's realizing the error of his ways, and he's really trying to make things right. A lot of you guys, I did post that, you know, in this episode, Zaria told Troy that she was pregnant. I did report on that a few months ago that she was pregnant. But she did put a post up after it aired on the show showing that the baby was coming in August of 2025. So she recently delivered. They have not said the sex of the baby. They are looking to share more behind a paid subscribe wall, which I will not be subscribing to. But she did have the baby. And you know, she went to Buffalo and told him that she's pregnant. He was happy about it. He gave a heartfelt speech about his father and how he was sorry, that he was going to listen and do right. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Lord, forgive me. When he poured them ashes on his head and shoulders, I don't mean to laugh, and Lord, forgive me. I don't mean to be mean or cruel, but I was like, oh, nah. Yeah, he went to the jeweler to get to get a little necklace for his daughter where they were going to carry some ashes in the little thing on the necklace and charm. But I was like, I've never seen that before because that's still a dead person's body. And he rubbed it on his head and on his shoulders and stuff. Y'all know how I am. You know, things like that kind of make me when I'm watching the TV. But he was very emotional. It was very touching. I really believe he wants to do right. And again, when I posted about she had the baby in August, a lot of you guys was in the comments like, oh my God, why did he do that? He messed up his life. She seems changed in this season. I will give her that. You know, she's listening to him. He's communicating. It seems like he's figured out how to deal with her a little bit better. You know, he called and apologized for not including her and that he wanted her there. And, he made it right. She listened and came. You know, she's not doing all of the stuff we saw her do in the last season. She seems to be, I can't say fully changed. We've only seen them in a handful of episodes. But for him, I do get a genuine feeling that he just wants to have a good life. And I hope he gets that. And congratulations to them on their baby. Yeah. The ashes thing, I just had never seen it. True Bonnie said, I don't know, her change is still up for debate. Yeah, I know in the beginning of the season, we saw her tell him to choke on his breakfast. We saw that. But she seems to be a little bit more calm, even on social media as well. We'll see. Definitely the jury's still out. I agree with you there, but she's showing some signs of change. So congratulations to them. Two more couples and then we're done. Really quickly, we saw Keisha. Why I keep saying Keisha? We saw Keith and Letitia on this episode. Keith has supervision of his son. I said, that makes sense because I was questioning him when I interviewed them. And I was saying to Keith, I was like, well, your son is with your father. You can't work out some type of deal with him, even though the courts won't give you physical sole custody. Can you not work out something with him when he stays? And he was kind of dancing around the question, I guess, because it would have been a spoiler. But he gets supervision of his son, so he's able to stay with him. Letitia talks about her facing a theft charge from a client, facing up to 15 years. I assume, because I'm not going to hold you, Letitia has quite a few different cases going on. I'm assuming she's talking about the case, I explained it before, where there is a past client of hers who says that, Letitia prepared her taxes. Letitia told her that she owed back the government, I want to say $8,000 or so, that the client gave the money to Letitia to satisfy the debt with the IRS. And the client is alleging that Letitia did not settle the debt. She kept the money. I'm assuming that's what this case that she's facing the 15 years are about, but she didn't get into the specifics. And as I mentioned, she's had a few different cases out there. But she said she was facing the 15 years. We also learned that, going back to my notes, this is what I be telling y'all too. I found it a bit crazy that Letitia had to question if Keith would wait for her if she had to do a bid. They're married, number one. But this is what I be telling y'all when you want to wait for these men that's locked up. Majority of them would not wait for a woman, especially not faithfully wait for a woman to get out of jail. So why do women always feel that they have to be faithful and waiting for a man and closing themselves off? Nah, not doing it. I tried it. Ain't work out. I was doing me. I was 19 years old. Like, child, please. But yeah, because he was doing me dirty when he was out. So you think I'm not gonna return a favor when you get locked up? I made sure he was straight and had commissary and all of that, but please. So I just feel like you waited for this man all this time. You're married, and again, she has these thoughts without speaking to him about it. We'll see what happens. It seemed like she got upset with him in the upcoming episode because she was like, did you even want to marry me? So we'll get to that. But I just thought it was crazy that she had to think about that. Like, would he wait for her? And y'all married and you waited for him. But that's how men will do. I ain't saying that's cute. True Bonnie, she knows. She said, oh Lordy, yeah. True Bonnie knows. She knows me. She knows me, okay? So yeah, I just thought that was crazy that she even had to think about that. But PSA alert, ladies. Think about that before you wait for somebody, okay? So I also found it interesting that she went to work from a coffee shop with her laptop. She said that she no longer has the office. She scaled back on her employees, and it seemed like she's just a one-woman show. And she said that, she had to scale back on her business and, having a brick and mortar space and employees, because I'm assuming not just this case that she's facing, but the others that she's had to deal with cost there's a lot of legal money. That lawyer that we seeing, he don't look like he's a cheap lawyer, because he be telling her the truth and keeping it 100 and know his laws and his bylaws, honey. So I'm sure he's not cheap. So she was saying that, that's caused her to have to pull back on her office and employees. So I found that interesting that she shared that with us as well. Tisha gets a call on the episode, and it seems like, she's waiting for a call from her lawyer. She's, on edge about the case and what's going to happen. So she gets a call and she's like, I have to go. But we didn't get into what the call is about. So we'll see more in the upcoming episode. So it was a quick cameo from them this episode, and we'll learn more about the case and what's going on coming up soon. All right. Lastly, Justine and Michael, the couple that I'm really not that interested in. Let me go back to my notes about Justine and Michael. They made it to NYC. Justine mom did show up. I told you guys I'm not buying into the propaganda that Justine wants us to think that her mom is just some mean mom. I'm not buying into that. I think that Justine's mom is tired of her poor decisions that she's been making since 17 years old, and she had to be the one to pick up the slack and help her. And she's just tired of that shit. And she's tired of being the last one to know stuff. Like, you didn't tell her you were going to have a baby or that you were even pregnant till she came for a birthday party, and you telling her next day when she comes for the party, you going in for she's going she's going in for a C-section. So I'm not going to buy into the propaganda that Justine's mom is not a good mom. But her mom comes and she shows up. She seems so helpful, telling her things, that she'll need for the wedding. We also found out that Justine's mom paid for her own wedding. It was decked out, $100,000 wedding, and it was that some time ago. I can only imagine what Justine and Michael are going to spend if they trying to, mimic the same wedding that Justine's mom had. But the wedding was laid, honey. Where'd she get 100,000 from? But her wedding was laid out. She was in the old-fashioned Bentley dress, large wedding party, flying doves. I said, go on, girl. Do that thing. Do that thing. I think, how you got to do it now? I was doing it like this. But my little sister told me I need to be doing something like this. I don't know. Hey, Toot. That's what she told me. But Mike is hiding something about their finances. We didn't get into what it was, but he seems extremely nervous as they go visit these wedding venues with Justine dressed like Zsa Zsa Gabor in a full fur hat and a long length fur jacket. They go looking at venues in her red bottom shoes. I said, girl, be extra, do your thing. But he's hiding something about their finances. What do you guys think it is he's hiding? Because he already told her that he'd rather put the money into the unisex barbershop hair salon. But I don't know what he hiding now financially. But I mean, they are on the internet. Whatever it is, they want us to know that it ain't that no more. Yeah, she was definitely giving mob wives, and I was here for it. But definitely lately they have been posting like they've been in Florida, they've been on vacation. She's giving him props for him making such a great life for her, and they living it up, eating good. So whatever it is that he got to tell us, she wants us to know immediately that that's no longer the situation. I don't think they want to deal with any backlash. So we'll see what Mike is hiding from her. But he seems extremely nervous with her looking at these large wedding venues. Yeah, so they go to sit down and eat after looking at the venues, and Mike's father and stuff is saying like, oh, you got to have this, you got to have that, but ain't putting no money towards it. But he's saying how lavish and upscale it needs to be, but he ain't giving out no blank checks. But Justine said, well, I'll pay for my stuff, like my guests or my wedding. And Michael gets upset because he's a provider, he wants to be the provider. And he's like, nah, what do you mean you're going to pay for your own stuff? Like, fall back. And he walks out. But we'll see what Mike is hiding. Joella's saying she thinks that this may be the last episode. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll check to see if this is the season finale. I will give you guys a sneak peek. But Love After Lockup will also be back. Love After Lockup will start on January 30th. Where I get June from. So after this season wraps, a new season of Love After Lockup will premiere January 30th, 2026. So unless we get a new Love during Lockup, in between that, we might be on a hiatus with them for a little minute. Shubani said he told her to pay for dinner. Yeah, he was heated. You don't like that, child. But yeah, so I'll keep you posted if we have a new season of Love during Lockup. But again, after this season of Life After Lockup, Love After Lockup will start January 30th, 2026. So great episode. Y'all know I'm enjoying the season. I appreciate y'all showing up, commenting. Again, line up for this week. Tomorrow, I will be recapping last week's season premiere of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So come back for that. Wednesday, I will recap this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We haven't talked about that in a while. I appreciate y'all just working with me as I figure out, shooting content for the brand deals and the podcast and the pages. I'm working it all out. Life is settling. Y'all know winter is coming. Summer, I wanted to be outside, y'all, with my baby. So things are settling down. And I'll also be recapping probably Thursday. I'll be recapping this week's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And again, this Saturday, I believe either 1:30, I'll put up the information for you. I'll be recapping this Friday's episode of this week's episode of Life After Lockup. I'll be recapping that with a new up and coming page. Their names are Jay and Mika. It's a couple. I'll be recapping with them. And yes, I went to BravoCon a few years ago, Toria, when it was in New York. I haven't been to the one in Vegas. I'm trying to get out there, trying to get a ticket, but I'm not going to pay these resale prices for a BravoCon ticket. Wayfair is currently doing a sweepstakes. So I'm entering in that every day, praying, hoping, and wishing that I can get to Vegas for BravoCon. But if I don't, then I'll just wait till they figure out, who they should have there and invite me to come. Hello, let's speak that into existence, y'all. So let me get out of here. But again, y'all, thank you for y'all support with my brand deals. I appreciate y'all showing up, liking the content, commenting, saying how great the product is, even if you ain't never even tried it. I appreciate the support. Again, we reached 100K followers on Facebook. I say we, meaning all of us. Almost at 102K. So it's still growing. Welcome new followers. Again, thank you for showing up. Like this video, please. Hit those thumbs up, hit those hearts. Like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you see all my recaps, whether they are pre-recorded or live, are all on my YouTube channel at Reality Recap 2876. The link is in my bio on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And again, follow me, reality_recap on Facebook, TikTok, and on Instagram for all the reality news. All right. Now, before I get out of here, as I always say, reality TV stars and humans too. Let's not forget that. I will see y'all back here tomorrow, same time, to recap Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season premiere. Enjoy your Monday and go Lions. I'm about to watch some Monday Night Football. It's your girl B with Reality Recap. Peace.